There comes a moment in a woman's life when she realizes survival is not the same thing as living. And maybe that is where you are tonight. You've been strong for so long, strong through disappointment, strong through heartbreak, strong through being the one everyone leans on, strong through making something out of almost nothing, strong through carrying burdens in silence. And somehow, being strong became your personality. But deep down, you are tired, not lazy, not weak, just tired. Tired of always bracing for the next problem. Tired of overthinking every decision. Tired of living as if peace is something you have to earn. And tonight, I need you to hear something. You were not created only to survive. You were created to rest, to receive, to bloom, to live softly, without guilt. Because soft does not mean fragile. Soft does not mean passive. Soft does not mean small. Soft is power that no longer needs to scream. Soft is a nervous system learning safety. Soft is a woman no longer at war with life. And maybe that is the life you are stepping into now. A soft life after survival mode. A life where peace is normal. Where joy doesn't feel suspicious. Where abundance no longer feels far away. Where you stop expecting disaster after every blessing. That life exists, and you are allowed to have it. Listen, survival mode teaches you to grip tightly. A soft life teaches you to trust. Survival mode says, work harder, prove yourself, stay alert, don't relax. A soft life whispers, breathe, receive, slow down, you are safe now. And for many women, that is the hardest thing to believe, because chaos became familiar, and peace can feel unfamiliar. But unfamiliar does not mean wrong. It means new, and new things often feel uncomfortable before they feel natural. So if ease feels strange to you, that doesn't mean it isn't meant for you. It means you are healing. You are learning another way to live, and healing often looks quieter than struggle. It may look like boundaries, rest, saying no without guilt, choosing slower mornings, saving money instead of living in panic, leaving relationships that drain you, being unavailable for emotional chaos, protecting your softness. That is growth, that is wealth, that is self-worth. Some women think a soft life begins when they have more money, or the perfect relationship, or a certain lifestyle. But softness starts in the mind. Before luxury is external, it is internal. It is how you speak to yourself, how you carry your energy, how you stop rushing, how you stop abandoning yourself, how you stop making struggle your identity. Because hear this, you can be disciplined and still be soft, ambitious and still be soft, powerful and still be soft, protected and still be soft. Softness is not the absence of standards. It is standards wrapped in grace, and that is feminine power. There is a version of you who no longer chases, she attracts, no longer begs, she chooses, no longer operates from lack, she moves from overflow, no longer survives, she lives, and she is not far away. She is being built in every boundary, every healed wound, every brave decision. Every time you choose peace over proving, she is already becoming. And maybe nobody told you. Healing can look elegant. Growth can look gentle. Success can feel peaceful. You do not have to suffer forever to deserve beautiful things. You do not have to exhaust yourself to feel worthy. You do not have to live hard to prove your strength. You have already proven it. Now life is inviting you into another lesson. Receiving, and receiving can be hard for women who had to do everything alone. But repeat this in your spirit. I am learning to receive. I am learning to rest. I am learning peace is safe. I am learning life can be good to me. I am learning softness is not weakness. I am learning abundance can stay. Feel that, because these are not just words. This is reprogramming. This is identity work. This is transformation. The soft life is not laziness. It is intentional living. It is no longer glorifying burnout, no longer romanticizing struggle, no longer confusing suffering with virtue. It is choosing ease where you once chose chaos, choosing alignment over pressure, choosing peace over performance. And yes, it may require unlearning. You may have to unlearn hyper-independence, unlearn overworking, unlearn scarcity, unlearn settling, unlearn believing you must suffer first. But what a beautiful unlearning, because on the other side of that is a woman who breathes easier, sleeps deeper, laughs softer, loves wiser, lives richer. And no, rich is not only money. Rich can be calm mornings. Rich can be healthy love. Rich can be a regulated mind. Rich can be freedom from survival. That is wealth too, and you deserve that wealth. Maybe life has been teaching you that not every season is for fighting. Some seasons are for receiving, for rebuilding, for becoming, and perhaps this is yours. Maybe this is the season you stop identifying as the woman who barely made it, and begin identifying as the woman who flourishes, the woman who chooses softness, the woman who lets life hold her too. Can you imagine her? She wakes without dread. She trusts herself. She moves intentionally. She protects her peace. She carries quiet confidence. She doesn't rush abundance. She embodies it. That woman is not a fantasy. She is your next chapter. And maybe you've been waiting for permission. Here it is. You are allowed to want ease. You are allowed to desire luxury. You are allowed to crave peace. You are allowed to outgrow struggle. You are allowed to stop surviving. You are allowed to live beautifully, without apology. And hear me. A soft life is not a life without problems. It is a life where problems do not own your nervous system. It is calm in the middle of uncertainty. It is trust in the middle of transition. It is poise while becoming. That is power, real power, not frantic power, rooted power. And rooted women do not beg life to be kind. They expect goodness because they know who they are. So tonight, lift your head, release the heaviness. Something is shifting. You are not entering another season of constant struggle. You are entering refinement, alignment, ease, and maybe slowly, you can begin saying, I no longer glorify surviving. I honor thriving. I release the identity of struggle. I welcome softness. I welcome peace. I welcome overflow. I welcome a life that feels beautiful. Again, I welcome a life that feels beautiful. Breathe that in, because words shape worlds, and your world is changing. Maybe not all at once, but softly, quietly, powerfully, and sometimes the biggest transformation does not announce itself loudly. It arrives as peace, as clarity, as no longer tolerating what drains you, as finally believing life can feel lighter. That is transformation. And I need you to know, your softness will not ruin you. It will restore you. Your peace will not make you weak. It will make you wise. Your gentleness will not make you invisible. It will make you magnetic. There is elegance in a healed woman. There is power in a peaceful woman. There is abundance in a woman no longer operating from fear. Become her, slowly, tenderly, fully. Choose mornings that feel sacred. Choose people who feel safe. Choose thoughts that nourish. Choose habits that support the woman you're becoming. Choose the version of life that loves you back. That is soft living. And it starts now, not someday. Now, not when you have more. Now, not when you are perfect. Now, because softness is not a reward at the end. It is a way of walking, and you can begin walking it tonight. one gentle decision at a time, one healed belief at a time, one boundary at a time, one breath at a time. And if part of you still feels afraid to release survival mode, that is okay. Thank that version of you. She protected you. She got you here. But she does not have to lead anymore. A softer version of you can lead now. A wiser version. A rested version. A radiant version. And she is ready. Say this with me. I am no longer living in constant defense. I am open to peace. I am open to beauty. I am open to ease. I am worthy of a soft life. I do not have to struggle to deserve abundance. I release scarcity. I release pressure. I release fear. I choose softness. I choose trust. I choose overflow. I choose a life that feels nourishing. Again, I choose a life that feels nourishing. Let that settle. Because your future responds to what you believe you deserve. And from this moment, deserve more, expect more, receive more, not from desperation, from identity. Because queens do not chase peace, they embody it. Queens do not beg for softness, they cultivate it. Queens do not shrink after survival, they rise refined. And you are rising, maybe slowly, maybe quietly, but truly. And one day, you will look back at this exhausted version of you and thank her because she survived long enough for you to finally live. What a sacred thing to move from surviving to thriving, from tension to tenderness, from fear to feminine ease. That is the journey. That is the glow up. That is the soft life. And it is already beginning. Tonight, rest in that. Trust that. Carry that. A softer chapter is opening. A lighter season is unfolding. A more beautiful life is finding you. And you are ready. You are ready for peace. Ready for abundance. Ready for softness. Ready for a life that feels like exhale. So walk gently. Move intentionally. Protect your softness. Honor your becoming. And remember, you did not survive all of that just to keep living in survival mode. You survived to enter your soft era, and she has arrived.